salsa lover, womajika, and welcome to the Bench Spoon, brought to you by Thorne Harbour Health. Now, food plays a really important part in our cultural traditions. Food can bring you comfort, it can bring people together, and it can definitely tell a story. Now, food is a universal love language where we get to share the rest of the world our culture. My name is Miss Katalyna, and I'm your host.
My name is Eswar, you can call me Ash, and I moved here 10 years ago. I call Australia home now.
Welcome, Eswar.
Thank you.
All right, so tell me, what have we got here?
This dish is called DHALL TARKA. It's DHALL TARKA.
DHALL TARKA.
So it's basically what it means is that it's tempered lentils.
Oh, okay. Nice, lentils. And what are the ingredients that you need to make this beautiful dish?
Okay, perfect. So the first thing that you've got to do before you do this dish is that you got to get chana dal, which you can get it at most grocery stores, Woolies, Coles.
Yeah. Which is this one here?
Which is this one here.
Yeah.
So this dal, this lentil, basically, it takes a long time to cook. So you got to soak it for at least 24 hours.
Okay. The day before.
The day before. Yeah. And if you do soak it, then it cooks within an hour. But if you don't soak it, it's going to take 5 hours.
Really? That long?
Yep.
Wow. I'd rather order KFC. No. And what are the other ingredients? All these beautiful ingredients that you've got here.
All right. So for the dal, I've got lentils that I've soaked for 24 hours. I've got salt.
Salt. Can you use any salt?
You can use any salt, but if you want to be health conscious, you can use Himalayan salt as well.
Yeah.
We've got onions, tomatoes, green chilli. We've got mint.
With this green chilli, is that hot?
It's actually not hot.
Oh.
It's not hot at all. It's really mild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the only green chilli hot here.
Oh, of course. Yes, of course.
Okay. And this one here?
We've got mint.
Mint.
We've got curry leaves.
Curry leaves. Where do you get curry leaves from?
Actually, you can get I got all these ingredients, not from an Indian store.
Oh.
You can get them all in your regular supermarket.
Okay. Yeah. Even the curry leaves?
Even the curry leaves.
Okay. Do you get them fresh like that?
You get them fresh.
I don't think I've ever used curry leaves. I have.
You have?
Because
it's quite a staple ingredient in Indian food. Mainly, I would say, South Indian dishes.
Yeah.
But we've always used that ingredient in our cooking in the family.
Yeah. And these beautiful spices.
The spices, of course. Spices are important.
And what's this one?
So that's chili powder.
Chili powder.
You can go for medium heat or low heat. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
This is turmeric. Turmeric.
This is really good for you, apparently.
This is absolutely good for you.
Yes. Is it good for memory?
It's actually an antibacterial, antiviral. It's got anti-inflammatory properties. And that's the interesting thing about Indian food as well. The origin of Indian food is in Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is the science of well-being and longevity in Indian culture. So all these spices have health benefits.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
And that is garam masala.
Oh, I love that. That's the kind of like the foundation of curry, isn't it?
It is the foundation of curries.
You can't really make curry without this.
You can't.
Yes.
Basically, garam masalas would be one of the staple Indian ingredients that you would have in every Indian kitchen. It's actually a mixture of many different spices, all 5 different spices, all ground together in one little powder.
Oh, wow.
Powder form, yeah. So this is anise.
Star anise, I think it is.
Yeah.
I only found out last week what that was called. Yeah.
We've got star anise, we've got cumin seeds, we've got cloves, and we've got cinnamon.
Cinnamon? Oh, is that like to balance it out or something?
It gives a beautiful scent and a sweetness to the dal.
So my family, they are 5th or 6th generation Indians. They migrated to what we used to call Malaya back then in the late 1800s. And interesting journey. They were spices and textile merchants, and they set up one of the first spice mills in Kuala Lumpur. So cooking has always been an essential part in our family, because as I said, we traded with spices, and for us spices are magic. It speaks about our family roots. Growing up in Malaysia, discovering my queer identity was such a confusing thing, because Malaysia is predominantly a Muslim country, and unfortunately it was also very deeply homophobic. My family was not blatantly homophobic, but there was no space for me to safely come out either. So in 2010, I was still in Malaysia. I was dating my ex-partner back then, and we're both from Indian background, Malaysian Indian background, and one day his mum found out that her son's dating another man, and shit hit the fan basically. Things just went downhill after that.
We'll start cooking.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
So we'll put this to the side. And
So what we will do
what's the
is...
first step that we need to do?
Okay, so what we will do is we'll put the water to boil.
Okay, water
That's the
to
first
boil.
thing that we would
Do you need more water?
I would say so. We'll pour the whole thing in.
Okay.
I think it might take maybe about 3 large glasses of water. So we don't want the gravy to be too watery. So I think that should be fine.
That's enough?
I think that should be fine. So what we'll do now is we'll increase the
Heat.
Perfect. You've already done that. Now we pop the lentils in the boiling water.
Like so. Okay. That's making noises.
Excellent.
And how long would this need to boil for?
So that probably will take about half an hour. If it's well soaked,
Yeah.
half an hour, and then that should be it.
Okay.
So in the meantime, what I would like you to do, Kate, is
Yes.
if you can help me chop up 1 tomato.
Yes. Okay. Just one?
Tiny chop.
Oh, really? Okay. Do you keep these things here?
I do.
Oh,
I
you do?
Yeah.
Just any way I feel like?
Any way you feel like. So you can just cube it as well.
Okay.
All right. Now, while you do that, what
Yes.
I'm going to do is I'm going to add maybe about 1 teaspoon of tumeric.
1 teaspoon. Okay.
And the interesting thing about this dish is that no matter which part of the diaspora is let's just say I'm from Malaysia, we still cook the same dish. And I know some of my Indian friends from South Africa and Fiji and UK and Mauritius and Maldives, wherever Indian migrants went, they've always carried that dish with them. So we add the tomatoes in there, the chopped tomatoes in the boiling pot of lentils and turmeric. I need to add maybe a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
We do use a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
I need
And what's that one?
garlic, minced garlic. I like a lot of garlic.
And would this be your favorite dish, or do you have a favorite dish?
This would be my favorite dish.
Yeah.
This is a staple dish that's cooked in my family,
Okay.
whether it's daily or whether it's festival.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 tablespoons of minced garlic in there, and I would add 2 tablespoons of minced ginger. So ginger and garlic is important.
Beautiful.
So we've got salt, chopped tomatoes, turmeric, minced garlic, minced ginger, all boiling in the pot. Now, it's got to really simmer, because I feel like, and this is what my grandmother told me, with turmeric, you gotta really boil the turmeric,
Okay.
or else you get a bitter taste.
Yeah.
Turmeric is good, but Indian food is all about layering.
Yeah.
So you gotta get the layering right.
Yeah.
And I notice a lot of people who try to cook Indian food, they tend to chuck all the ingredients
All
all at
together.
one go.
Yeah.
And it gets, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not how it should be. I like red onions because it gives an extra zing. This is where it will get interesting.
Yeah.
Because once the lentils are almost cooked,
Yeah.
you move the pot, and then we start the tempering of the spices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think it came to a point where there were some harsh decisions that we had to make because the family was starting to get very agitated. There were conversations around forced marriages and potential suicide if we did not marry and live normal heterosexual lives. So we had to come to the hard decision of packing our bags and leaving. And we both arrived here together in Australia in 2010. We arrived in Adelaide hoping that we've left everything behind and we're going to start a new life here together. It was a bit of a fantasy now looking back. Of course, we all want the best. We all want to strive for good things, greener pastures. We eventually realized that it wasn't really easy for us to assimilate as what we assumed. It was quite difficult. It took a long time before we both got there, and unfortunately by that time it took a huge toll on our relationship and we split up. Now looking back, I realized those were all barriers that we didn't quite think of when we came here, because the dream and the goal and the love and the idea of wanting to be together in a free country sort of clouded our eyes from reality. Initially, when I first came here, I realized there was invisible barriers. I couldn't make sense of it. I didn't realize why was it so difficult for me to get a job. I speak perfect English. You know, my personality is great. What's wrong with me? And I would put out 150 applications and I wouldn't get one reply. And my ex-partner and I will go to the club and we'll be at the bar and we would be like, oh, this must be like Malaysia, everyone should be friendly. And we will be hanging out there and try to make friends, but no one would want to come and talk to us. And eventually I realized, shit, this is pretty much the same thing as what we went through in Malaysia as well. There's this structural issues here. There's definitely some form of racism or othering that's going on here. So I guess once I understood that, it wasn't a complete shock, because it was something that I had already gone through in Malaysia in some form or another. It's not something that I needed to learn again because it's in my bones. Growing up second-class citizen in Malaysia, having to go through barriers because of my name and because of my skin color and my race is just another thing that I'm going to go through here. So I came to terms with that. I changed my name from Eswar to Ash in my resume. Got a job. To be honest with you, both is part of my identity, I would say. Where I came from in Malaysia and where I live right now, here, is both important to me.
I
So
think
what's
we're
next?
almost done.
We're almost done.
So
this is what I prepared earlier.
okay, so what I need now
Yeah.
is I'm going to move this aside,
Okay.
let that sit.
Tell me what you need, what you need.
I need a
What
pan.
you need.
I need a pan.
You need a pad. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Thank you. All right, so this is the interesting part.
Oh, this is a part that I'm really excited about.
This is the part. This is where the magic happens. Oil. I do use a lot of oil. Because the dal, the lentils, it soaks up quite a bit of oil. So.
And how much oil is that? What is
That's okay. That's not too bad.
Oh, okay.
That's not too
I
bad.
always thought you would use a little bit of oil. But
Oh
you need
God, no! Not Indian cooking.
And then you're going to add this.
And then you add that. So this is clarified butter, ghee. You can get it at any Indian shop. All right.
Okay. So you add that, and then once you got to wait till that's quite hot.
Heats up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you get that smell? The smell of the butter and the oil.
I can smell the butter. I can't smell the oil. I don't know what else I can smell. My hunger pains.
I can hear your stomach groaning.
I know. It's like feed me, feed me, feed me. And do you fry these just all together or separately? Or all together?
No, you're right. Yeah, I do fry them separately because the cumin tends to burn. So I usually would put the star anise, the cloves and the cinnamon because they all tend to sort of fry at the same heat. All right, so cinnamon. Now we add, so we've got to move really quick now. Yeah, now we add the star anise. You see the smell?
Yeah, I can smell from here. I love star anise.
It's coming alive now.
Stew. Yes, that's beautiful.
It's coming alive now. Now you add.
And how long do you wait till you add the next?
Let it become a bit golden.
Oh, okay.
But don't burn it.
Yeah, okay.
Do you see the layering of the cinnamon and the star anise and the cloves? You can this is all not moving together. Now we add the cumin. Now we've got to move. Can I have?
Do you want this?
I'll have the curry leaves.
Curry leaves. Oh, I've never seen curry leaves before.
You've never seen curry leaves before, so you don't have to put the whole stalk.
That smells yum.
There you go. All right.
Occupational health and safety. Stand by.
Mint leaves.
Wow. That looks amazing.
Amazing, it is. Now, I'm going to add the onions. If you can help me chop the green chilli thinly.
So how do I just cut it this way?
Slice it really thin.
Oh,
that way is good. That way is good. Yep, that's how my mom does it. Yep.
I just learned that the other day.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay. And I know people were looking at me thinking, oh wow, look how she's chopping. She's gonna chop off her fingers.
Yes. So you gotta wait until the, you don't want to caramelize the onion, but it just gotta wilt.
And then when this goes in, that even makes it.
That will just marry the whole thing.
Yeah. And then divorce later.
And then you divorce it later. You devour it later here.
Do you want me to chop both of them?
I think one's fine.
I
think one's fine. Because we are in Australia after all, you know, we've got to watch the heat.
How long would you cook that for? Before you put the tomatoes in?
Until the onion wilts.
Yeah.
So you see the spices are not burning because we've added the onions. Now we add the tomatoes.
Okay.
We turn up the heat.
So with this dish here, is this a dish that's well known in Malaysia, because it's an Indian dish as well, isn't it?
It's an Indian dish.
It's an Indian dish.
It's an Indian dish, but because Malaysia's a very multicultural country.
Yes.
3 major races: Malay, Chinese, and Indian, and pretty much most Malaysian food is a mixture of all 3 different food. Chinese food, Malaysian food, and Indian food. So usually dal is something that most people would have with roti for breakfast in the morning in Malaysia.
I love roti.
Yeah. Roti is beautiful. Yeah.
Yum.
Now, I'm going to keep all my powders here together. Maybe a teaspoon of garam masala.
Yes, my favorite.
Your favorite. A teaspoon of red chili powder.
But I was told you need to fry this first. Probably not for this dish.
That's already powdered, so that's fine.
I can smell that.
Can you smell that? Red chili powder.
Wow. I feel like I'm at home.
I tend to go hard on that
This is
one.
my home. My temporary home.
Actually, you should come over to my place and have some food one day.
Yeah, I should come there every day.
Every day. And cumin. Cumin powder. 3 most important ingredients.
Yes.
Give it a good, let it fry. Now, I'm going to get you to throw that green chili in there.
Okay. Oh yes, the one that I chopped up. There we go. Do you, the seeds, do you throw them out?
Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter?
Doesn't really matter. So we move the pot of lentils back onto heat.
Okay.
And now, I'm going to stir this.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to stir this for now.
Looks amazing.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
The smell. The
Yes.
smell. Now I'm just going to lower the heat to maybe medium, not high, so that it doesn't burn. Cover this, and we'll come back in 10 minutes.
Oh, beautiful. I can't wait.
I would not change a thing with all those experiences that I've gone through. I think it's made me who I am. I think I'm definitely a resilient person, and I know a lot of my friends say that. I don't really like to, apart from this conversation that we're having right now, I generally don't really like to talk about all the difficult things that I've gone through, because it then becomes like a pity party, a soppy story, and that's not me. I think strength, I want to speak about strength. I'd like to focus on the positives. I think despite all the difficulties, and we all have difficult stories as queer people, we all have our own journeys, and at some point all that adds up to our resilience to keep going. And I think this country has definitely taught me a lot of that, taught me different aspects of myself that I wasn't even aware of. If I didn't come here, I wouldn't have experienced all those things, and I wouldn't change a thing about that. That's what I would like to see here in Australia. Not just tick boxes and hire us because we are people of colour. Include our thinking as well, because there's a lot of richness there. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of diversity there. I think any culture that thinks one way is not rich. So to all those people who are listening to this, never ever think that you're any lesser than anyone else. You're not a second-class citizen. You're rich, you have history, you're diverse, and you're contributing to the fabric of this society. So be proud of who you are and be resilient. So today's food, dal tarka, is one of my favorite food. My grandmother used to cook it for me, and we usually eat it with roti, puri, or rice. Brings back a lot of memories, and I was actually quite surprised that I got all the ingredients at Coles today. I didn't actually go to an Indian food store, which is a beautiful thing, because that means Australia is diverse. I can get all my Indian food ingredient at a mainstream supermarket. And that was not even actually possible probably 10 years ago when I first came here. So it's changing rapidly. Australia is changing rapidly, and food is one of those cultural things that it is so therapeutic. It's got so much history, and we like to share all that stuff. And I would like to see more of that happening in the future. More people trying different sorts of cultural food. Change it, tweak it, make it your own, because that's what Australia is all about. So it looks like it's almost ready.
Oh, look, it smells ready. Beautiful. And do you have anything to garnish with that, or do you just have it like that?
Yes, please. So if you could finely chop up some coriander.
Of course. Look at me. I think I know what I'm doing.
Perfect. So we've got saffron rice and garlic naan.
And here's something I've prepared earlier. No, I haven't.
Thank you. So we've got saffron rice, garlic naan.
And what is this one here?
That's garlic naan.
Oh, garlic naan. Yum.
And here's the...
Look at that.
Look at that.
That is delicious. And do you leave the cinnamon thing in there?
Well, I like it.
Yeah?
I like
Do you
it.
eat
think,
it?
I think I don't eat it,
Okay.
but I think the
Just
more the
tasting.
spices stay in there,
Yeah.
the more it releases the flavor.
Okay.
And a sprinkle
And a
of
sprinkle
coriander,
of my beautiful well-chopped coriander.
and we're done.
Oh wow, it smells amazing. Oh wow.
So, if this is a vegetarian version, but if you want to add meat in it,
Which I would.
which you could add
just
lamb
close this so you
into
don't-
it.
Don't sue me.
You can add chicken into it.
Yeah.
You can do all sorts of things with it.
Beautiful. Wow, Eswar. It's come to the end. I want to say thank you so much for coming by to the Bent Spoon, and hopefully we get to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Aw. Thank you for having me at the what am I saying?
That's perfect, that's perfect.
Thank you for having me on the Bent TV today. Bent TV. Why can't I think of the last word? I'll do it again until it feels alright. I hope you had a great time watching me cook my favorite dish today. Thanks for having me on the Bent Spoon. For more information on the recipe, you can check it out at the Thorne Harbour Health website. Thanks for having me.